Do you remember this game? It's fun, right? What would you say if you can play that game in VR? I'm gonna tell you all you need to know about it. But first, like always, the options in the menu. 3, 2, 1, let's fight. So when you start the game, you start in this hub area where you can move around, try out weapons and even ride a horse. You can call it by pressing B on the left controller. On the left side on the menu wall are the options, on the right side are the so-called global parameters. Please note that you can't change the difficulty in-game, it has to be done here. Same goes for the options. Because all of the options are pretty self-explanatory, I will just fly over it. Foot locomotion means when you are walking, gaze means where you are looking at. Mounted stick means your controller stick, and controller means your whole controller. But what's the difference at 2H handling between action and realistic? For me, there was no difference. The game has a slow-mo feature, which I use and to be honest like. You can change it here. And of course, the graphics. One important note, I can recommend to use 30 to 35 NPCs in a battle. You can of course try higher or auto, but this setting is very CPU demanding, and even though I have a strong CPU, I was not able to have a smooth experience on auto or higher than 35. There's also a chest in this hub which you can open. Let's open it and see what's inside. Oh nice. You can also leave the castle, but there's nothing going on outside. I wonder what's gonna happen when you go into the deep water. I bet you reset or die or something. Or you are just underwater. You can also visit a graveyard, which has a new pit and stone sarcophagi with explanations why someone died. Back at the camp, you can find a leaderboard. If you want to be on that, you gotta play a lot it seems, so good luck to you. Before I start the campaign, let me show you the 3 other ways to play the game. Tutorial is self-explanatory. Quick battle, which is a quick battle with a set amount of NPCs where you can choose from all weapons. And to start a battle, leave the area which is further out than the weapon rack or raise both arms. I always raise my arms before I'm even ready, because the NPCs take a while to move to the battle and it also takes a while until the battle starts. So choose your weapons and then let's fight. Alright, enough of quick battle. At custom battle you can choose what kind of fight you want to have and the battlefield you want to fight on, and then change the size of the army and then have fun. But I'm not gonna do that. So let's take a look at arena. Choose your weapon and choose your enemy by tapping the name here. And the only way to leave I could find was to jump down the well. Alright, enough menu, jeez, let's start the campaign. Yes, the cursor is from me, I forgot to push the mouse aside. But it's gonna be gone in the rest of the video, pinky promise. So when you start the campaign you get a little intro into the story, then run away from the enemies. Jump down the cliff, and now you're on the campaign map. But before we can run around, fight and do other things, we need a name. To zoom in or out, grab with both hands and pull in or out. If you rotate, which is done with your right stick, it's not you who rotates, it's your character. So when you look to the left and you rotate to the left, your view to the left is increased, but your character does not look there. So when you then move, you don't move where you look at, you move where your character is looking at. If you want to reset everything, press B on the right controller, and B on the left controller is for the display menu. Oh boy, more menus. But I will talk about that a bit later. After you have chosen your name, you can run around freely. So what can you do on this map? Well, you can fight bandits, other factions, trade, do sieges, tournaments, quests and other things. There are battles happening all over the map. Faction against faction or bandits against faction. Yes, I know, bandits are also a faction, but to separate them I would just call them bandits. And you can approach these battles and have different options on what to do there. You can attack them, the name at the bottom is your enemy. Auto-resolve, which I do not recommend because it's boring. Wait 6 hours, that can be helpful if you're waiting for a change in the battle before you want to join in, or some other faction is on the way to the same battle and is on your side. Try to flee. Garrison, which I will show you later, and discuss. When you click on attack, the other options except garrison are choosable. Sometimes the game waits until the attack happens. I don't know why. So let's fight. As you can see, it's the same like in the quick battle, but here you have no armor and just some default weapons which are pretty bad. Oh, there's also no crouch button and no force grab. I think I had the NPC amount on auto here. That's why there are so many, and if you raise your arm in the battle, your character makes a war cry that boosts the morale of the NPCs and can even hinder them from fleeing the battlefield. But there's something way cooler than that. It surely does the same, but it's just way cooler. Because I wasn't paying attention to the name at the beginning, I fought on the side of the bandits, which led to my first defeat. If you lose the battle, it looks like this and you get some XP, but don't die. So you could basically, if you really want to push through, just fight them again and kill one NPC at a time until they're all gone. Let's talk about the character progression. If you press B on your left controller while being on the campaign map, you open the menu. Under avatar stats, you can see your character informations, gold, level, experience and so on. To increase a specific stat, click on the plus symbol. You have to be very precise here or it won't register. The maximum is 10 per stat. Every town has a blacksmith, stables and a tavern. Some do have a tournament and of course the king, but he is not in the town, he's inside a castle. So let's visit the town and take a look, shall we? First the blacksmith. Now the stables. And now the tavern. Something that really bugs me is that you hear the sound of eating and all that, but the NPCs are just staying around. You can, if you want to, start a tavern fight. I don't know if that is just for fun or if that has any repercussions, but you can do it. Oh, and the kick? Yeah, press B on the right controller. Now for the tournament. When you enter the tournament area, every NPC is looking at you. Feels kinda strange, to be honest. You can participate in 3 tournaments: archery, fighting and horse riding. But it's not just like, okay, I want to do it and now I do it. No, you have to wait until the round of the NPCs is over, then the fence opens and you can participate. I wish there would be some kind of information about that. So first, fighting. I forgot to mention that you can also use your shield as a weapon. Now for the archery. Yeah, I'm pretty bad in VR archery. Even though I shot all my arrows, I still had to wait until the time was over. No, you can't move and you can't concede. Now the last thing, horse riding. Don't forget to be on the horse or you will lose immediately. Second try. And last but not least, the king. You can also recruit soldiers, but only from villages, not towns or castles. You only need gold to recruit them. There are no salaries, which is nice. But now you say, I want stronger units. Okay, open the menu and click on army stats, select the recruits and train them. Now you have stronger units. But you can't just go from recruit to the strongest unit, you have to do it step by step. While taking a look at the graphic options and trying things out, I found a somewhat misleading graphic quality option. When you click on the plus after fantastic, I think it jumps back to the first option, you get no shadows. But as you can see, now it looks like it gives my foliage shadows. But what it actually means is no shadows for the NPCs. Foliage is nice and makes the game look better. When it moves like there would be wind, that is even better. But the foliage here feels more like you are on a ship and those are waves. Sure, if you fight and you move, you don't even see it. But if you look at it, it can make you feel kinda dizzy. To be honest, the combat feels really great. If you would just do low effort swings, you surely would hit the enemy, but you wouldn't do much damage. So in this game you need to make real swings, be precise and hit with the sharp edge of the blade. If you're for example too close, you will not hit with the blade, you will hit with the handle. You can also grab the weapons the enemies drop. When you move and press A on the right controller in a battle, you do a dodge jump. But that takes stamina and you will hear your character start to breathe when you do it too often. And then you will move slower. That also goes for the kick. So use it sporadically. Of course you can siege places, but be prepared to defend them. Sadly you can't control the siege equipment, and to be honest, in all my fights I have not seen that the catapult is doing any damage. After you have won, you can capture or burn the place, because this here as a garrison you can only capture it. Now it's mine and I can build things or put my units in that place. The same garrison symbol will also be seen when NPCs from your faction will roam through the map. Building things costs gold and takes 10 days. Even though I'm building a barrack, it's not gonna build units or train the recruits I put in that garrison. You have to do that manually, by going to other places, recruit and then train. Something that always occurs when being in a siege is that the bottom part of the ladder of the siege tower can be walked through. So in order to use that, you need to use the sides of the ladder. With enough force you can dismember the enemies. I seriously did not expect that. Sometimes you will face the so-called warlords. One of them looks like this. But there are no indicator before the fight that you will see one. Well, I couldn't find any. So be careful because these guys pack a punch. You will also find random events around the map, which are actually just battles on different maps with some background story. But if you're not fast enough, they will vanish. One thing out of, I don't know, more than one definitely, things that should be fixed are the escort missions. NPCs are often stuck somewhere or don't attack the target. You need to search them to progress. Kinda annoying. An important note, do not change the number of active NPCs in a battle while you are in a battle. This can lead to the fight not going any further. The reason is the number is for the whole battle. So at 30 NPCs it's 15 against 15. But if you already have 30 on the map, you can't go higher. And of course, I found a bug. When you're near a random event and there are factions fighting near the event and you approach one of them, the boxes overlap. I didn't find a way to fix or work around that. You can also trade, but is it worth it? I don't know, because I did not really do it. But when I did, it was always a loss. Because here, it costs 9 gold and I can only sell it for 8 gold in the town. And it was always like that. Maybe I just had to go further out to buy something, I don't know. In your menu while being on the campaign map, you can find faction infos. Let's talk about that for a moment. Here you can see everything you own, your income and so on. But to be honest, I don't know where your income is or goes to, because my character gold never increases and I could not take gold from any place. Same goes for the sliders. Later I changed army to train because I thought that this would mean that recruits would be trained somewhere without me doing it manually. Wrong. Nothing changed. Maybe I did something wrong or did not do something. If you know, tell us in the comments. Every time you attack another faction, your relation goes down. Because I took over all the land from pink and started the same with blue, our relations are awful. And when they see me, they attack. Well, blue would do that. Pink can't because they are no more. You can also become a lord, but that is something I leave for you to discover and enjoy. I also had a bug where when I was zoomed out, I could not zoom back in. The only way to fix that was to do a battle, but it just happened once and I couldn't reproduce it. If you want, you can also grab the enemy and smash them into the wall. Or if you're careful enough and don't hit your HMD, you can even grab them and headbutt them. You have probably seen that you can send spies to the enemy. You can't train spies, so it's always random if they give you a report or if your money is wasted. But they come in handy if you want to attack a village and know what's in there. And there's also magic in the game, but you have to find it in dungeons. With all my playtime, which is around 12 hours right now, I only found one. Maybe I'm just unlucky. Who knows? With all the troops and units, you are probably wondering if you can control them. Yes, you can. When you press your right stick forward, you get this blue line. This selects your units on the battlefield. If you now hold the right stick down and press the right trigger, this menu will pop up. Then you can choose your command with your right stick. I know, it's not really intuitive, but you get used to it. Okay, let's try out the magic. There are 3 spells and it looks like they have different tiers. I only have tier 1 and only found 1 spell. So in order to use them, they are automatically equipped when you find them. Hold the left trigger, push the left stick in to activate the spell toggle, select your spell with your left stick, raise your left arm in the air. You will then hear your character talking, and then throw your hand down. And there is a multiplayer test branch, and you can download mods, but first the multiplayer. To use it, go to Steam, right-click on the game, click on Properties, search for betas in the left menu and select Multitest at Beta Participation. Steam will then download that branch and you can use multiplayer. So let's try it out and see if someone is using it. If you're wondering why it does look so empty, no trees and nothing, that's because I tried out the Spectre mode under Options and didn't change it back. Okay, so it looks like nobody is playing, but let's wait for a bit. And in the meantime, while we wait, let's see how far we can write. Oh, you can even leave the map and just fall, and fall. Not sure if that was intentional or not. Now the mods. Well, they are mods for the game, but they are all just weapon skins or outfits. Nothing that really improves or enhances the game, but you can check them on Nexus-Mods. Link is in the description if you don't want to search for it yourself. I'm not a modder and I don't know how difficult it is to mod this game, but to be honest, this game got some serious mod potential. And that's it for this video. I hope I could give you a good insight into the game, show you what to expect, how it feels, how it looks, and give you a general overview. Thanks for being part of my VR journey. I truly appreciate all of you. And I know that you fight, you win, you lose again and again. So what are you going to do? Give up? No. Let me tell you what you are going to do. You get back up, you dust yourself off, you form a plan, and then you fight again until you win.